Well, with the economy as bad as it is, a lot of Albertans are thinking twice about buying that new car right now. Sales of new vehicles have dropped about 13% from last year. But what to do if you really need some new wheels? Could you be better off leasing instead? Our money columnist, Wiley, is here to tally up the pros and the cons. So what should people be thinking about when they consider what to do in these circumstances?
You need to look at what's the purpose that you're going to be using the car for. If there's a business connection, perhaps leasing might be the way you would want to go. How long do you typically keep your car? Is it 5 years or more? Again, then you may want to consider owning the vehicle. Do you need specialized equipment in your vehicle? This could go either way, because sometimes you might be able to get into a vehicle with this specialized equipment.
You mean if you have a disability or something?
A disability, right, yeah. With a lease, you may be able to afford it and have a better price, but at the same time, if you're leasing it at the end of the term, the vehicle technically isn't yours. So that one's kind of a mixed bag.
What are some of the positives for leasing?
So leasing generally is going to cost you a little bit less up front because it's the security deposit and your first month's lease that you have to come up with. And the way that the monthly payments are calculated, you're only really paying for the amount of the time that you're using the vehicle based on the depreciated value at the end of the term. So this usually works out to quite a lot less than, a finance period. And your maintenance period for the vehicle is usually going to be longer than the lease period. So usually you don't have any warranty issues and, those extra repair bills that sometimes can crop up.
Somebody else's problem.
Yes.
So what's the downside of leasing?
Downside, when you're using your vehicle, you need to know how many kilometers you're driving, and you may face some excessive kilometer charges or wear and tear on the vehicle when you return it. But if you position yourself and you know your driving patterns before you go into the leasing agreement, you can usually set yourself up with a proper lease that will cover these charges. They do have some options for you to cover those off, or if you're releasing with the same company, quite often we'll find out that they will waive these charges.
Right. And part of the advantage to leasing we often hear is that you can write off your lease payments. How does that work?
So if you're self-employed, or you own a business, or maybe your employer requires you to drive for work, you can typically write off only the interest on a vehicle purchase. That's the portion of the payment. However, when you lease, you could actually write off the entire payment, and that could be quite a good deduction. And if you're an employee, you would need to have your employer sign the T2200 form, and therefore they would be able to determine exactly what write-offs you would be able to have.
As proof that you are using it for work.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yes. Wiley, always nice to see you.
Yeah, the same to you, Rob. Thanks.
Thanks for coming in.